So, for 2026, I said I wanted to learn how to make like stuff, like pottery. So I went out and I bought these. And do you see them? There's two of them. One's terracotta color, one's white. It said natural clay. The other stuff very clearly said air dry clay or polymer clay. So I thought, this is natural clay. This is natural clay. Cool. I can use these. I can bake them. I can, No, you cannot. These are air dry clays. So I just bought 20 pounds of air dry clay. That, see, paint and seal when dry. So, great. That's not what I need. So I can't start anything yet. So I'm just throwing that out there. It's fine. It's fine. I did go to the Dollar Tree and I got these craft tools. So I might be taking these back. And then I got these cooking boards. I got the cooking boards because, you have to like leave things for a long time to dry. And you should have them on something like wood, according to the YouTube videos I watched. Now, I'm not watching anymore because once I start making stuff, I'm not watching any more of my YouTube University. I am going to just get at it. I also made some tools because obviously I watched YouTube videos and they said you could just cut like a laundry detergent, like detergent bottle. You know what I mean? Like laundry detergent. Yeah. So I made this. Oh, very nice. Hair. Oh, it still has a hair. Okay. So I cut this out. It's got a nice little round edge here, a round edge here. I was trying to cut like things, And then I made these. I cut them out. They were just as thin as this. And then I put them in my oven and I baked them because I thought it would make the edges like smoother. And instead it just kind of messed up all my edges. And there's that. And you can see I kind of did like a line and then I changed it. And, Anyway, I made myself some like funky little tools. I don't recommend this because, yeah. Like, if you actually use just the laundry detergent bottle, look how, like, squirrely that is. Can you imagine trying to, like, do something and it's, like, just twisting and warping and, yeah. I don't know if that's a good idea. Anyway, I also have these cake things, because, of course I do. And then I've got all of my painty stuff. So, there's that. I do have some metal ones, too. I don't know what I'm going to do. I have to go back to the store, and I have to get better clay. Because like I said, I thought it says natural clay. Natural clay. I thought it was real clay. It is not real clay. Then for Christmas, my sister bought me these. So you will be seeing these. That's okay. I have other projects planned too in 2026, not just the clay stuff. So I bought these, which in theory, some of these might be able to be used as clay. Some of these are these natural pigments, not the golds. I don't really want to use the golds. And I think one of these is like copper. I don't know. It's not labeled. One of them's not labeled. See, this one's not labeled. I think that's the copper. I need to go through and figure out what the actual stuff is. I don't know if these are colors or I don't know. And then I bought myself some flax oil because flax was the only one that I could find that says it can be used to make oil paints. So I plan to make my own oil paints. Why? I don't know. Because that's the dumb things I think about. I'm like, hey, that would be cool. Actually, I have an idea. I have an idea floating in my head. Ideas are bad for me. So anyway, I'm going to be making paint. But we'll talk about that later. This is a painting I did last year. And when I did the painting, obviously lots of paint dripped off. Not my favorite painting in the world. It was part of I called it Dreams Come True. So anyway, this is coming up because the next video that you're going to see is going to be a leftover painting from when I made that. And I made the video of me making like this leftover painting with it like partially. Then I never finished the painting. So I'm going to be doing that first in 2026 because, yeah, I need to finish that, get that out of the way. I'm going to go into my other little projects. And I'm going to be making paints, taking these back to the store. I have the receipt. It's fine. And trying to find actual natural clay that I can like cook. So I don't want air dry clay. And also I bought 20 pounds of something. See, this is why I shouldn't. I swear I saw somebody buy this exact clay on a YouTube video. And so I thought, oh wow, that's natural clay. No, this is not. At least it's not clay that I can use, like to fire. And again, I'm repeating myself. But I'm like, I'm annoyed. I'm very annoyed. So I'm not going to watch any more YouTube videos. I'm just going to go out. I'm going to get some real clay, some real sand, and I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. And that's fine. It's fine. I'm going to do that. Okay. Bye-bye. I'm going to also do a lottery video tomorrow because I got some lotteries. So I'm going to do that. And then I'll get to painting and doing this and that. Like I said, I got to go back to town, take these back. I hate returning things. Do you guys hate returning things? Tell me in the comments. Like, isn't it always, like, embarrassing? You go in there and you have your little receipt and they just look at you like, why couldn't you pick better? Why are you so stupid that you have to return this? And usually they're very super nice, but still, I always have that, like, I have return anxiety. I hate returning things. But I'm gonna return them because otherwise it would be a waste of money, and my project is limited to $100 spent in 2026. And right now, I'm at about like $5. So I think these were $1.50 each, and this was $1.25. So, and I'm not counting the pigments because, like I said, they were a Christmas present. So if I use my pigments to paint any of the pottery, I don't think it counts. And I'm not quite sure how much this was, but I'm going to be using it for my painting. And I originally wanted it for painting, not necessarily for clay. So if it just like happens to cross over, you know, it's fine. But I will keep you guys updated as to if I actually, in the end of the year, succeed in not spending over $100 on making stupid clay items. And I do have like this big list of things I want to make in clay. Because I've got ambitious. Way too ambitious. And I want to like do like this experiment. See, the whole reason I want to do the clay thing is because I'm a crazy person. See, because I watch all these videos on like archaeology and sociology and like ancient humans, and I'm just like really into watching those and think it's really freaking cool. And every time I hear about pottery and how it was like such an innovation and everything in like the lives of like prehistory, I always hear that from two different sides. One side says clay and pottery was made by them just accidentally, taking fire and putting it on a wet place where they had like a fire. I don't think that's true. I think pottery actually came about because they clay lined the baskets. And if you listen to the basket people, they will say, oh yes, they clay lined the baskets to make them waterproof, so that they could keep the seeds and stuff in them. And that was done before pottery. So why wouldn't they have just like accidentally baked a basket? Because a lot of the early pots have like impressions of like baskets and seeds and things on the outside. So I'm thinking, if you take some clay and you put it in a basket, right, it's going to shrink up a little bit, right? And then you could take that and just put it in the fire. And that would make a pot. I don't know if that's true or not. But in my crazy brain, that would work. So, I don't know. I mostly want to make clay just so I can like form hypotheses on how clay and pottery was made in ancient times. I don't know. That's how my brain works. Like, I have a question and like I did a bunch of research and I couldn't find a good answer. And also, I think there's still dishes made where you take leaves, right? And you put the meat in it. And then you wrap it in mud and bake it. And then when you take it out, you break the mud around it. So, that's how I think pottery was first made. They had the meat, they wrapped it in leaves, they covered it in clay, they baked it. Then, when they broke it, they just used those dirt pieces to serve the meal. And then they were like, hey, this is kind of cool. Let's do it on purpose. But I don't know. But I also think the basket idea is true too. I think the wet hearth thing is less likely. Less likely. I'll see you tomorrow with my salvaging leftover dreams video, which is from spring of last year. And then I'll come back with salvaging leftover dreams part 2, which is actually going to be filmed in like 10 minutes. Okay, see you later. Bye-bye.